so some of these young newbies gathered around to look at this booby trap, and somehow somebody set it off and it went off. I don't know the details. All I know is that one guy was killed and 3 others were wounded by a booby trap that they had already found. It wasn't that they stumbled on it, right? And that was really stupidity. I mean, the standard way you operated is you stayed really spread out. So if somebody got hit, found a booby trap, all it was going to do was injure or kill him. It wasn't going to kill the whole squad. Well, these guys had 4 guys taken out by this one grenade. And it was stupid. I mean, they shouldn't have done it. But we were young kids. We were all stupid. So the next day we were going to pull up stakes from the where we'd been staying and walk just down this trail. It's flat down this trail through a village to this bridge and catch trucks back to the rear. The company commander did something strange. He took the remnants, the leftovers, the guys that weren't wounded in that patrol. There was about 6 of them, and he put them on point. Now, generally, often the way we would move in these situations is single file. Right? You have a point guy, and then you have an assistant point man, then you have a point squad, and then the whole company is strung out between them. There's 3 squads in a platoon, and 3 platoons in a company, and then the company commander. 70 to 100 people. And so as we walk down this trail, the company commander put that squad in point, which is not the way you do things in the military. There's a chain of command. So the captain tells the lieutenant to do something, the lieutenant tells the sergeant tells the corporal, And so normally you'd say, Lieutenant, your people have point, and the lieutenant would pick the squad to walk point, and the squad leader would pick the point man, right? But he said, I want that squad, company commander. So instead of telling the lieutenant to take point, the lieutenant's people to take point, he picked the squad that had lost the 4 guys the day before. And they were not happy campers. Rather than blaming themselves for being such idiots as to run into this booby trap that was not very well hidden so they could find it. I mean, you can run into booby traps anytime because if they're well hidden, it's crap. Anybody can die any minute. So rather than blaming themselves, they were blaming, if you'll excuse the expression, the gooks, right? And they were really angry. So as we walked into this village, the squad leader, his squad was in point, my squad was second, and the lieutenant and the company commander were behind me. Me and my squad. I was a squad leader. And so as we got to this village, the squad leaders passed the word back, says, are there any friendlies in this area? That term makes sense, friendlies? As opposed, are there any people, are the people in this village considered to be our allies? And the company commander said, no, this is a free fire zone. You heard the term free fire zone? Anybody in a free fire zone is considered to be either a Viet Cong or Viet Cong sympathizer. So he said, no, this is a free fire zone. So right after that, all this firing started ahead of us. And it wasn't a firefight. It was clear that it was all outgoing rounds. You can tell the big difference between an outgoing M16 and an incoming AK-47. There's a big difference in the sound. So nobody hardly even flinched. But as we got to the first hut, there's this old lady laying on her back, and she'd been gut shot, and she was dying, and just been shot in the stomach. And old lady, very old. And the next hut, there was a pile of people that had been shot and killed. And in the third hut, there was another pile of people that had been shot and killed. And that I kind of went in shock at that point. I mean, I'd been there a long time. I'd been there, a year and 3 months, 15 months. I'd been in a lot of combat. I had never considered gunning down unarmed people. Never even, I mean, unarmed, I didn't care if he was a Viet Cong general, not gonna shoot him if he's not armed. Um, but these guys took their anger and frustration out on these villagers. And we stopped on the other, and we just went through kind of the corner of this village, these three huts. And we stopped on the other side, and the company commander did another unusual thing, which is he asked for volunteers to go back in and search the rest of the village. You know, you're supposed to say, Lieutenant, I want you to take your platoon back to search the rest of the village. Or, Lieutenant, send a squad back in to search the rest of that village. And none of the officers volunteered to go back in, which was a little interesting. And I didn't, neither did my men. But he assembled his mob, put some staff sergeant in charge of them, and they went back in and searched the rest of the village. And there was some more shooting. Not a lot, but some more shooting. And then when they came back, we left. And as we left, he called in airstrikes on the village. So we had jet planes, right, with bombs on them, and machine guns, and grenade launchers, and so forth. And these were called tactical air support. So if you were in a big, nasty firefight, you were pinned down, you were getting your ass kicked, you could call in air support to come and strafe the enemy's positions and break the ambush or the firefight. Very, very deadly stuff that they had, these jets. And you're supposed to use them, when you're under pressure, when you're in danger. And but he, as we were diddy-bopping down the trail, he just called them in and said, "Hey, take out that village." So they bombed it, and used napalm on it, and just had a good old time on that little village. It was a free fire zone. They were VC sympathizers. Who cares? But that changed my life. That really, that was really intense. That just so angered me and frustrated me, and made me feel like a coward. Because even though I'd been in quite a bit of combat and acquitted myself by their standards just fine, considered myself to be a good Marine, that the captain would not only allow that to happen, but also, I think, pretty actively create that situation.